Hey, how you guys doing? IVIX and Big Burr.
What's going on, guys? You guys ready for a mob grinder tutorial?
So yeah, this is it. Pretty much on 1,200 views. So Big Burr has spent a lot of time refining this, and this is probably, what do you think about your fourth version? And
I lost count.
so this is how it works basically. Right now it's on XP mode, which means the mobs fall and they take fall damage, and which makes them pretty much one-hit wonders. Now I will go through that. So creepers are one hit, zombies are 2 hits. They have a little bit more health than the others, but at this point you can just basically beat them. You know, you can just hit them. You don't need to make a sword or anything, and it is pretty productive. Now I will say there is a couple things. One is spiders. They actually do not take much fall damage at all. And of course creative, I can break through the back of this thing. So skeletons are one hitters, spiders are not. And so you can see this spider, he's lived. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on grind mode, which at this point this spider, he is going to try and get me, and when he comes through here he's just going to get burned. And there you go. So if you do have a spider that happens to live from the fall damage, he will die there and you can collect the XP. And so that's pretty much all the features of this. So the next thing we need to go through is, before you guys start this tutorial, obviously we couldn't do this on a regular world. It would just take too long to dig it all out. So we wanted to go through and say that you'd probably want to pick out some nice flat land, like so, and you would need to dig 31 blocks down, and you'd want to dig a 2x4 area. Now in the tutorial I go and say that you want this to be 26 high. That's to the sign though, so this needs to actually be 27 for the funnel. So if you're digging down, basically it should look like this, and I'm just letting you know that because I kind of forgot when I did the tutorial, so you know, that's my bad on that. So when you finish on this part of it, which is this tunnel, you should actually have 27 blocks high. The sign should be at 26, that one right there I'm looking at, and so that should be it. So alright, on with the tutorial, huh?
One more thing I would like to add on.
Yeah.
This mob grinder to work efficiently, you do need to light up a 126 block radius. And if you want to skimp on that, just put this over in the corner. Hopefully you won't have any redstone problems. And just make sure you have enough room. That way you only have to deal with the 180-degree area instead of 360 around you.
Yeah, so what he's saying is to put it up in the corner as high as you can, maybe even above water, and it'll save you having to light up, you know, 126 blocks by 126 blocks with torches. As you can see on the ground here, I kind of simulated it just to like a little 8x8 torches, but you would have to do that 127 block radius from the actual mob grinder to get them to start spawning efficiently, is what you're saying, right?
That is correct.
Alright, so
And
now
don't
on
you
with the
forget those
tutorial,
caves.
huh?
Let's do it.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to want to make is the piston system. So it's just 4 blocks like that. Then you're going to need to put one up to make a little stair, just like that. You're going to want torches underneath like this, and then torches across. And then on top of that you're going to need a total of 8 sticky pistons. And then whatever you want your floor out of, just like that. Next thing, 4 repeaters, 4 pieces of redstone, and then you're going to want to put a torch right next to those repeaters, and then a block. And then you're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks there, and you're going to want to put redstone on these, just like that. And so now we can actually do the water system. So right on these pistons you want to build a little 4x4 platform like that. And then come over here and you're going to want to put blocks just like this, and then one lower, and that's where our source block of water is going to be. So we can go ahead and add that now, just like that, and then we're going to do the same over here. So water only runs 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then you're going to definitely want to put these side pieces, otherwise it will just kill all the redstone. So you want a little channel like that. So let me do a little high res so you can see it, just like that. So I'm going to be using glass on this one, but you can do it out of whatever material you want to. This is just so you can see it. So that's what you should have now. Alright, so now we just need the input, or output, sorry, which is a sticky piston, just like that, and then a lever. And so now when we do that, it should drop the water down, and then it should stop right here on the 8th block. And then at this point, we're going to want to put another channel system just like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then 6, 7, and 8, just like that. Then we're going to want to build another channel, just like this. And this is where all our items are going to collect for us. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the source block of water. It should flow in and stop right there. So we are going to need half slabs on this, and it's going to prevent the lava blade from burning up everything. So basically want to have this covered with half slabs, just like that. And so right here is where we're going to be putting the lava blade. So we need a total of 3 blocks, and then 1 up, and then this is going to be where our lava is going to go. You might as well put that in. So the next thing we're going to need is some signs. So 2 signs here. And then we're going to need our source block of lava. So this should be, it should come out and just hang over, and anything that might actually escape through is just going to get killed instantly by that. So I'm going to use glass for this part, just so we can see. And so obviously you wouldn't want to put a block here, and you do not want to put a block there. You want it up above, just like that. And so you can just cover this up if you want to, just like that. Alright, so now that we have this done, we just need to build the tower, and I'm going to need Big Bear for that.
Alright, let me just get off this crazy ride.
I actually did not know that those big slimes could ride minecarts. That is pretty funny. So this next step is something that if you were in survival, you could actually get away with doing a 2x4 down and leaving the walls and not having to replace it like you're getting ready to see us do. But you do have to get the height right. So what I would do is lower the pistons like this and then count this block. And so let's just match it. So we made sure it was the right height up there. So if it's not at the right height, they could either die or take no damage. So yeah, anyway, so including this block, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26 exactly right there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just complete the tower, and then see you guys in a sec. Alright, so this is the tower. It's 26 exactly from the lowered piston, which is a block we had already placed, just to make sure you guys know. Do not want to screw that part up. So the next thing we're going to need is to put some half slabs in this window. So sometimes spiders, because they can climb, they won't take any fall damage. So just putting some half slabs like that will prevent them from being able to come out. Yeah, so that's that. And then Big Bear is actually going to help me with these signs. And originally I actually tried ladders and they do not work, and Big Bear pointed that out to me a couple times. You actually do need the vine, otherwise spiders just get caught.
And items tend to get,
Yeah. So at the very top you can see here that you're just going to need 4 signs, 4 vines, and then another sign underneath it, and that's to prevent it from growing. And so at this point, anything that drops is going to just either die when the water's when it's down, and when it's up they should just take slight fall damage. Well, actually, what is it? It leaves them with half a heart. So I'll spawn a couple. Obviously you wouldn't be able to do this in survival, but if it's not at 26 you won't get that. So 1 hit on him, and then if I actually retract it, he should just fall to his death. And there you go. So 26, it needs to be 26. So the next thing we're going to need to do is just build the funnel, huh?
Pretty much.
Alright, so hopefully you guys got the 27 block height here. So it should be 26 to the sign, just to remind you. So next thing we need to do is just the funnel system. So it is actually from these holes here, the 2x4, you want to dig 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And basically you want to match it up with the hole, so it should look like this. And then on this side over here it's the same, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you're going to end up having a pattern. So we can go ahead and just dig this out real quick, huh? So it's the same distance on both sides, it's just one's 4 wide, one's 2 wide. And you'd obviously want to count these. So at this point, this is what I usually do, is I dig out a 3x3 area on the edge like this. And you could do that on all corners, or just do one at a time, whatever one you want to do. This is pretty much the hardest part, is matching up this to the next section. But anyway, so right here you want to dig these out. As you can see from here, it should only look like a little C or whatever that looks like. And then you just want to grab your source blocks of water and put them in on the end. And so you'd put 4 source blocks like that, and you'll see that it stops right at the edge. These signs aren't actually preventing it. And then you do the same here, and if it's the correct distance it won't overflow it. So this is what you'll end up with. And this is the funnel. This is where all the mobs are going to fall into and get funneled into the tube. And that's pretty much that part of it. So this is what it should look like when you're done. Obviously you wouldn't be able to fly on survival, but
it kind of looks like a Zenny from Japanese Currency. Some kind of video game I played.
I always look at it thinking Ninja Star, like a brutal Ninja Star, but...
Okay guys, we need to build a Zenny Ninja Star. Let's do it.
Alright, so the next section is the collection system. And the mark's got to be perfect, so Big Bird's going to go ahead and show us where we should start, how high, and the actual dimensions. So you want to take over, Big Bird?
Very well. Alright, starting from this water source block right here, you're going to want to go 2 out, and then take this 5 up. And then from this block right here, you're going to want to go 10 over. And then once again, starting from this block, you're going to want to take this 23 over. And you're going to want to do this all the way around. This whole thing is 23 times 23, or 23 squared. And then you're going to notice that one side's going to be a little bit bigger than the other. That's because it is an odd number and it cannot be symmetrical. But it does need to look like this. Is there anything you want to add, Michael?
Yeah, I was going to say that on my screen you can see here that this wall goes right over the back of this source block, which is 8 from that. And then over here you can see that it's overhanging 3 blocks to the wall. So spacing a 2, and then that of course is 8. And so as long as your measurements are like this, you should be able to do the collection system, which is the next step. Alright, so for this next step, which is the collection, and that's the collection chamber, including lava blade. So what we're going to need to do is just go to the left of your 23 by 23 and then put 3 blocks up like that. And then counting this block, you're going to want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then do the same with this, and then bring this one over -1. And then right here you can actually use a sticky with whatever, or you can use a normal piston with gravel. So I'm going to actually use glass on this, just like that. And then from here you're going to want to build this up 2, and then for another one right here, and that should be the ceiling. And you can put your 2 source blocks of water like that. It should flow and stop right there, and then this is where our second canal is going to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So from this right here, we want to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And so I'm going to use glass. You don't have to use glass, but bring these over same. And I'm going to go ahead and bring them up to the same height as the other one. Now if you're doing glass, you're going to want to leave these out. And make it just like that. Alright, so now we can go ahead and put in our sticky pistons, which should be here. 2 sticky pistons, 2 blocks on top of them. Then behind it you're going to want to go 1, 2, for a total of 3 like that. Now I'm going to use glass so that we can actually see it. And then you can put your source blocks of lava. But before you do that, you are definitely going to want these signs in here to prevent it from flowing it down in there. So signs just like that. And then we can go ahead and grab our source block of lava. So 2 lava like that. You should come out and create the lava blade, and you'll see that it overhangs. So if anything comes in here, it's just going to get killed. And then 1 last source block of water, just like that. Now I have, when I built this a couple times, there was a couple times where this area did not fill up with water, and I'm going to show you if that happens to you. You can basically just put a source block and then kill it, and it'll just make it form correctly like that. But I've only had it happen once or twice, but did think if it happened to you, you might get confused. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill this area in like that. Alright, so right here underneath these, you're going to need 2 repeaters, some redstone, and that should be good for right now. So that's just this part of it. And so for the top of this, you're going to want to cover up your lava just like that. And if you can see, that's the spawning chambers, which I'm going to make one for you real quick. So on the top here, you're going to want to put 2 and make a 2 by 2 area like that. And then from this, each side of this is 8, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to that channel, and then the same here. Then you're going to need to do the same thing, just build up a little lip. And then you want to do the same on this side, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is actually 8 because I didn't include that block, but that should be 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there you go. For a total length of, including these blocks, is 9. Then you're going to want to do the same thing. You want to do this on all the corners, and basically there's 4 of these per. So let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me double count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then 1 up. Come out again. Same thing. Do the channels. Now all of this should be sticking up out of the ground, so I'm going to show you another little trick you can do on the corners here to make it a little easier. But before we do that, let's finish these channels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this should be the 9th. And then same here, just cover this over. Now you will want to fill this in. So it should be just like that now, which is just a big cross. And so on these corners here, you're going to need to put a 3 by area. So a 3 by 3 area is what you need on this corner. I'm going to double check that. That's not looking right. Yeah, it needs to come 1 out. So I actually had it correct. So each corner needs to look like that. And then we're going to do the same on this side, which is to just basically make a 3 by area. And then just like this. And then knock these out and repeat. Right, so just like this. So you should have the symmetrical, it should be looking just like this. Knock these out. And then the source blocks, you'll know that your measurements are wrong if this water flows over this. And so each of these need 2 source blocks and then 1 here, just like that. So as long as they stop right on the edges, you should be cool. So it should be just like that. And so this is basically a pattern that you're going to be repeating a lot if you're making this. You can see each one of these needs 4, and then each level needs these as well. So one of the things Big Burr was showing was ladders, and that you pretty much want to put them every other, and it's to control fall damage. So on the next one you wouldn't need them, but the one above that you would. And these all need to be filled in as well. They just basically make a square out of them. And this is going to be where the mobs actually spawn in this section. So we're going to go ahead and finish this and then show you the final, what it should look like. And let me give you a little high rise of it so you can see. Alright, so I'll see you in a sec. We'll have the wall built and we'll be ready to build another section, which will be up to you guys. Pretty much the end of the actual build. and then we're gonna finish up the redstone. So see you guys in a. Alright, so me and Big Bird kind of wrapped this up, and then he had to jump off, but I wanted to show you kind of what goes on with it, and that is because we made the collections, you know, at an odd number, they all should match up perfectly, leaving you with a wall in between, like a dividing wall. So you end up with 4, and they should all end up looking like this inside. And you can see this one actually has spawned something, even though it's light in here. And so that's pretty much just do it over and over, and you put as many levels as you need to. When I did this on survival myself, I kind of did one thing. I got one platform, and then as I dug and got more material, I added on another one, and so forth. And when you're done with it, you should end up with a completely symmetrical design like that one over there. That's just one level, and obviously you could see if you put 2 levels it would be that high, and then you put one more, and of course they all need to be covered, but only 2 highs worth of space. So that's pretty much the end of the build, but we do got some redstone to finish up, and I just wanted to show you that's what it should look like after you're done. And don't forget that you do need these every other. So like on this one, I don't have the ladders. It's just to prevent fall damage, which they will get, and then they'll die from that fall. So anyway, let's go ahead and finish up the redstone. So I already hooked up a couple of these. We only need to hook up one. You just need to get the general idea. So some of the other things you're going to need to do is, for instance, seal up all of these areas, which I'm not going to do right now, but you'd want to seal them. And myself, I put a door there just in case on each side, but this one is the one that's not done yet. So you can see this is actually starting to spawn mobs, even though there's no ceiling on it, so which is cool. So what you basically need to do is just dig down to the piston here, get underneath it, and place a torch. So that's the piston that's in the chamber, and once you've done that, you just need to connect it up to the lava blade. Now I've put in doorways here so I can get through. So this is it. So you want to make sure and take note of where the channel is. So you can see here we're not going to have any problems with it. So if I was to put it right where I'm looking, it would definitely flood. So best thing to do is just dig it out a little bit, put a torch on it. Now when you do this, you want to make sure that you do not monostable this torch. And I mean like by putting another torch underneath it while it's powered. So this will actually cause it to mess up. So remove the torch, place one, and if I was to place another one, it would just burn out. So I just wanted to show you that it will cause it to drop lava, and it'd just be all bad. So go ahead and place a torch, check it. It should turn it into lava blade, and so that's the default position of this. So when it's actually on grind mode, it kills anything that goes in there. So at this point, you just need to connect this torch and that torch, which is really easy. You're just basically talking about this. So we need to power this torch off. I'm going to double check it. And sometimes they'll match up weird, like you can see here. This one's matching up kind of strange. And they're all different. But as long as you get the redstone connected, it's fine. And then right now this one needs a repeater here, and once you have that, it will switch it from grind to just normal. And so now we just need to connect these all up to the main system down there. So the easiest way to do that, and it's actually why I'm doing it in the dark, because during the day you can barely see underneath this thing for some reason, but in the beginning of the video we had done this, and off of that you're going to want to just build this up. So you could on survival just basically dig straight up until you get to about so high, you know, about as high as you can go. If I was to dig underneath here, water would fall out, so it's one of those things you want to make sure you kind of under dig this area. So all we need to do is just knock out every other from the bottom. So right here, and then go every other. I'm going to place a torch on these all the way up till we get to the very top. Alright, so you should stop and it should be on the off position, which means this thing's on grind mode right now because the water is flowing, so it's in the down position. So this is in the up, so everything's good to go. So you go off of a torch that's not powered and just connect these. Now obviously you're going to need to put repeaters, but what I did on mine was I just dug the area out. And one of the things you don't want to do is connect all of them in a circle into each other, otherwise it will get locked up. So basically we want to connect this one here, just connect it in like that, and then do the same over here. Now I wish that we could actually I could place block by block and even do this on a survival map with you guys, but unfortunately nobody has that kind of time. So I also would be probably a 3-hour video. So anyway, connecting all this redstone all up, and don't worry about putting in repeaters just yet. So what we're gonna do now is once we get all the redstone hooked up, we want to go back down here and switch it to grind, or I'm sorry, it's on grind right now. We want an XP collection. So XP collection, it lifts the rail up, sends power up the torch, and then powers the thing we just did. So you can see where it's powered, and if you follow it and you see a place that's not being powered, like right here, it needs a repeater to turn that on. And you also want to make sure there's no levers on these. So this one's being powered fine, all the repeaters are lit up. This one's plenty of distance to power, so that one's on. This one probably will need a repeater, and we'll need a repeater here. Now normally you could just put it, you know, here. I'm gonna put it right at the end like that, and then that should make it switch from grind to XP mode. So it's pretty much all there is. You can see that it's on kill mode right now, so we're gonna need to switch this up just a little bit. So some of these are on, some of these are off. That one should actually be on, so it must not be getting a good connection. Let's go ahead and check it. So we're missing some redstone. That was actually my fault. So there we go. And then basically once that's done, you bury it and then add your floor in here, which is what I do. You don't have to, but usually redstone that's sticking out is never a good idea. And then to prevent any accidents of falling in the water, you just basically make your floor in here. And like I said, I usually put a doorway here. That way if there's some spiders or something goes wrong, I can shoot the mobs or something, and then, you know, just basically just finish up this area. And it's not necessary, you don't absolutely have to do it, but that's what I do. And so that's pretty much it. We should have a functioning mob spawner. So it should be on grind now. So if you find that this is opposite, which it shouldn't, but you can see when it's when there's water down here flowing, then you should see the lava plates extended. So they should all be extended. So this is all set up correctly, and we're just double checking stuff. And like I said, it's always good to just bury up any holes you might have, and then of course you'd want to seal this area in, because you definitely don't want to have any accidents. You don't want to be falling in here. But anyway, I can do that some other time. To be honest, I'm not even going to be saving this. I'm only saving that one over there. But yeah, quite a long tutorial. But you can see that the way that it works is that they spawn in this area. They randomly will fall into the water and get pushed down. So this one actually might actually be producing, but I'm not seeing any yet. So just to show you, you know, like as soon as I do this, they will start spawning. So completely sealing it up and then also checking it for lighting glitches, which I'm sure you guys have seen before, which is like you'll see a random lit up spot. If you don't see anything, it's pitch black, you're all good. So I just wanted to show you guys that. Really a massive build. And yeah, you know, comment, let me know what you think, and definitely comment on Big Burr's channel. And as I said before, you can hook this wiring up any way you want to, as long as it's, you know, doing what you just seen, then everything's good. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, comment, like, and subscribe, and you know, you can decorate your room down here. You can make it as small as you want or as big as you want, and that's it. So yeah, let me know how yours works. You know, comment on the thing, let me know. Like I said, as soon as they start spawning, even during when it's dark, but during the daytime it simulates a whole area being lit up. So if you don't have the resources, if you were to hit this only in the daytime when the sun's up, it would be like having all these torches. So just some pointers. Anyway, comment, like, and subscribe, and have a good one. Later.